Welcome to evening camp. We've just sneaked out for a quickie, a quick one night camp. We're just round Cheddar, obviously. So the other part of the video to here might very well be part 1A. I think that's working quite well. You know, short little sections if there's a sensible break somewhere. I think it's helpful to people. So what we've got chicken, because why not? We don't exactly have health and safety here today, it has to be said. The vegetarians out there will, you'll have to excuse the meat. You'll have to excuse my meat episodes occasionally. I thought, well, we'll try those naan bread things again, because we had them once before, and I don't think we'll die. You can never have too much oil. So we're gonna get this chicken cooked up, and then when the chicken is cooked, we're gonna add a little hot spicy salsa recommended by Organized Chaos, a member of the channel. So if anyone wants to become a member of the channel, 99p, it's only the influencer. Videos get released early, usually. I can't guarantee they're always going to get released early, but you know, 99% of the time, I've got so much that I can release them ahead of time. So it's like right now, one video's just gone out, the first Namage 2 video from Dartmoor, from my trip just before Christmas, and we're already on the 3rd of January. But they've been available for people to look at for the last few days, and then they'll get released. Everybody will see them. They'll get released over the next few days, over the next week or so. And then this one will probably end up being released in a week's time or something. There's a few slugs wandering around here. Oh. I made a couple of minor boo-boos. One I somehow forgot, and I'm going to have to find it. I may have not even started yet. My phone holding cradle thing. Somewhere safe at home. I can put it somewhere. I'll have to find it. And I brought the wrong ground sheet. I bought a solo ground sheet. I meant to have brought the Trailstar ground sheet, but never mind, it'll do. Oh, I like the comment from David. Hello, David. I don't know if you're... It's raining again. If you're... Very good question. I'd like to know why YouTubers put solo in the title too. I don't know. But I noticed that people do, so I thought, sod it, I'll do the same thing. And that's the, I'll answer your question later, David, if you watch the videos. But yeah, I don't know. Whether it attracts more attention, I don't know, we'll see. Probably not here, but you know, does it sound more adventurous, you know, you're out by yourself in the dangers of the dangers of somewhere or other. Maybe it just sounds more adventurous or something. I don't know, but I notice people do it. And the funny thing is, the other month, someone mentioned it to me, not because I'd ever done it before, but basically, you know, highlighting that YouTubers do it, you know, or why do they do it? So basically I thought, oh well, I'll join the crowd occasionally. So yeah, so I thought, wow, you know, maybe it helps to attract attention or something. We need all the help we can get. I didn't bother with, you know, powder or anything because I've got the sauce. So you can cook lying. We can cook lying down. That's okay. Oh, these are quite big, chunky pieces, aren't they? I don't know when to put this sauce in. I'll put it in now, I think. We're not that far away from the edge of the gorge. So if you hear cars, that's what that is. I think, unfortunately, I think sometimes the racers come out, you know, to race up and down the gorge. Unfortunately. Might actually need the whole pot actually. I think the fuel is going down now. I just put a little bit more in because I want that sauce to brought plenty of the old fuel. And we have got, I remembered my plate, which is a minor miracle. And the bread things. If you remember from the last effort, we weren't very successful in keeping it in, but we'll try a bit better this time. Considering it's still winter, there's still quite a few odd flies buzzing around. So how do we do this then? So we put it on like that. A bit more sauce. So I think someone said that you fold it that way and that way, and then roll it that way. Is that right? I don't know if that's very successful, but is that how you do it? Oh, I'm going to make a mess again. Did I put too much in? Oh, and someone else was commenting about eating lying down. Not good for your digestion. We really worry about that when we're camping. Try not to choke on it. Well, that wasn't bad. We'll have another one. I bought 4 pieces of bread for these things. It's quite hot. I think we've got more than enough for 4. Right, we'll eat one more on camera. So let's try this again. So roll it that way, and then that way, and then what the bloody hell did you do? Oh, I made a mess. Well, that didn't work, did it? I made a mess. But did we expect me to not make a mess? I'll have to work on that. It is nice. Just pick it up like that. Works, look. That is nice. Well. All right, we'll try one more on camera. Then I'll eat the last one. And I'll save a bit for Lassie. She can lick everything. All right, so let's try again. So we one was successful, and then obviously one wasn't. There's probably enough there then, isn't it? So what do you do? So fold it that way, and then fold it that way, and then what? I think I'm putting too much in. I think that's part of the problem. I mean, it's a good excuse to eat more, isn't it? Because if you keep messing them up, then you've got to eat more to get it right. I mean, admittedly, we wouldn't serve it up like this if you were in a restaurant. All right. Last one on camera. That's it, I only brought 4. Well, that was half the packet. Whoa! There's going to be a bit there for the hound. Right, so 1, 2. I'll have that bit. Oh. All right, there's 3 bits there for the hound. No, 2 bits. I think I've put too much on again. Do you think I'm deliberately putting too much on? Do you think it's too boring to get it exactly right? Woo-wee! That was nice. Whew. Now I'm in a right mess. It was this side all the time. Oh, oh, I did enjoy that. Whew. Oh. Sorry, stomach. You're gonna have to do the best you can. Oh. Well, I did enjoy that. That was nice. I must admit, it is nice to treat yourself, spoil yourself occasionally with some food like that occasionally. I mean, it does weigh a bit more because obviously, you know, the weight of the chicken. I brought the jet boil frying pan because it's just generally just a little bit bigger. So that obviously weighs a bit. Let's see, you haven't looked at your spatula. So obviously, you know, that weighs a bit more, but you could bring a lightweight frying pan. So yeah, I mean, well, that's why I don't take it, you know, if I'm doing a longer trip, then I want to go as light as humanly possible. But you know, if it's a one night thing, you're walking up a hill and back down again, you know, why not occasionally? Anyway, I'm going to carry on with Reach. I'll have a tidy up later. I think Lass is licking everything now. So that's the washing up done. And I will have a cup of tea. I think that's the next thing to do now. All right, good morning everybody. I don't know how long tracky audio is going to last. So we might end up using the GoPro, but it's not windy, so it should be fine. I've packed everything away, but I brought my very, very old original Trail Star. This particular one has the black patches. It's the original Trail Star, and it's in my very, very, very early videos. It's never been camped in before, because when I was playing with it, the top separated a tiny bit, not really very much, but a tiny bit. And I contacted Ron, and he just sent out another one immediately, you know, to replace it. So I obviously just used the replacement that he sent out, but I always kept this one, and you know, I've never used it because obviously it got replaced. So it's kind of like, you know, excess to requirements because it's a damaged one. But you know, I thought, well, I'll put some tape on the top, which actually hasn't stuck either, but it survived the night. It did okay, so I'll keep it in reserve. I probably won't really that's why I've not really used it, because like I said, it was, I wouldn't call it a prototype version. I mean, it was one that was sold, you know, back in the day, but I think they quickly changed from the black patches to the white patches after this. But all the other black patches I think are fine. I think I just found a limitation to it with my messing around back in the day, you know, what, 12 years ago now. Anyway, we're going to collapse it down and we're going to get walking because time has kind of ticked on. It's 11 o'clock now. It's definitely on the, I don't think it's very cold, but it's definitely parky today. I don't know what the temperature is. It's probably about 6, or it feels quite cool. It's probably about 5 or 6 degrees, something like that. But it's definitely quite cool on the fingers. But it was a breezy night, but then it calmed down, and obviously it's very calm now. My original plan was to go over the other side, but I stopped up here in the dark, well, before dark, and I just thought, oh well, we'll stop here. The other thing is, I've got this hat on with this beak on the front, which is very nice. But one thing I did notice in my evacuation with Chris last year is when you wear a torch with it, the beak here kind of stops the light reaching the bit, so you kind of got to walk around with your head down like that, which isn't very convenient. And I didn't have another hat handy, so I need to remember if I'm wearing this hat to have another hat if if I'm likely to need a torch. Yeah, well that tenacious tape, it didn't stick. It didn't stick at all to that. What happened was, you won't really be able to see, but the top, it just separated a little bit there back in the day. And obviously, you know, I contacted Ron. Didn't know me and I didn't know Ron. You know, I'd only bought a few shelters and I just said, oh, this has happened, and he just sent another one out immediately. And I think that was the white label by then. I think that was the white patch. So we must have changed from black to white quite early in the day. Oh, what am I doing? Not concentrating. Yeah, Cuban. Roll up, Cuban. Oh. It is definitely chilly. Ooh. That is quite cold doing that. Ooh. It's actually colder out here than I was expecting. I mean, I was cool in camp because I must admit I mean, I've got a 0-degree quilt. I've got a 0-degree quilt, and I was not cold but cool in it this morning, and I was sort of wrapping myself around it a bit more. Not cold, but definitely cool. Ooh. It might only be cheddar, but it's still pretty cold. I'm gonna have to try and do something to warm my fingers up in a minute. This was one thing that I actually liked about cheddar, but you know, back in the day when I was starting camping and walking, is I'd come around Cheddar, because it's kind of like local-ish, quite local, but still, you know, it's still a bit colder generally than at home. I quite liked coming around here before Dartmoor because, and I don't know whether this makes sense to people or not, but it kind of, especially going into autumn, it kind of prepared me for Dartmoor, because it was like a friendly reminder, this isn't Dartmoor, you're not going to die here, but you know, you're not just walking around your park, you know, you are walking a little bit further. And I just found that, quite useful. And then it would be helpful to know what gloves worked around here, what gloves didn't work, and that type of thing, because you could kind of like carry this and that. It was a bit like a a little bit like a proving ground almost. I don't know whether other people have little areas that they go where they kind of walk sometimes before going out into the wilderness, just to, it's not so much remind, but you know, it's just, you know, helpful to have somewhere that's local to home where you can walk, especially when you're heading into winter, that's kind of friendly, but you know, also gives you a chance to, you know, not just be going around the local park. Once I get walking in a minute, my hands will thaw out. The Cuban fibre, it doesn't absorb water, and yet when you pack it up, because it's wet, it's still heavy. That's what I say, you know, this this new thing of Sil Poly. Lassie, come here, Lassie. Of Sil Poly, you know, not absorbing water. When you pack, Lassie, when you pack, it's still gonna have water on it, so it may not sag, but it's still going to be heavy when you pack it away. Oh Jesus, oh, my fingers. Oh, all right, well, we're nearly there now. Oh God. All right, so once at this side here, we will say toodaloo from this trip, and we'll be around here again, so if I show you everything over there this time, then there won't be anything to show another time. And I'm going to do an occasional camp around here, so you know, I can show over there, yeah, another time. I'm going to get going. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.